The title of the seminar is The DNA of Smooth. So I'm going to break this down into two parts. In the first part, I'm going to talk about the technical foundation of Smooth. And I'm going to do that by demonstrating the figures done at the basic element of bronze, silver, and gold syllabus levels. For those of you that don't use that terminology, it's the same as saying associate, licentiate, fellows. Yeah? So that's going to be stage one. I'll be talking about the similarities between Smooth and ballroom. And then in part two, I'll be talking about how it's really, really different to ballroom, and the artistic and the creative side, and what makes Smooth unique. All right, so Smooth is a beautiful blend of lots of different styles of dancing. Firstly, obviously, why am I cracking? I'm not cracking up, I'm just crackling. Okay. All right, so it's a beautiful blend of many different styles of dancing. Obviously, first, it's ballroom-based. We obviously can blend other forms like classical, contemporary ballet, modern, tap, jazz, Latin rhythm, swing, flamenco, hip-hop, you name it, we'll try and chuck it in there. Yeah? But at the heart of it, it's still a waltz, a tango, a foxtrot, and a Viennese waltz. So all of the core principles and all of the foundational techniques that we use in international ballroom are our foundation and techniques, exactly. Yeah? Think of Smooth and ballroom as twins, separated at birth, but both studying, say, classical ballet at the beginning, but one chooses a classical ballet path while the other does contemporary. They would still need the same foundation and technique to excel in their different styles. All right, so to demonstrate today, I'm very proud and honored to introduce to the floor dear friends, lovely people, and outstanding Smooth dancers, and also the current United States, world, and the first Blackpool Smooth champions. Nick, Victoria, come to the floor. This is Nick Chermukin and Victoria. Congratulations and welcome. Okay, we're actually going to go right away. What I'd like to do is just show the very first basic step in the bronze/associate level of the waltz, tango, foxtrot, and Viennese waltz. Who here knows about ballroom dancing, international ballroom? Yeah? You're going to recognize these figures. Good. So let's do the first basic step of Smooth in the waltz. Excellent. So you can see with the same posture, same footwork, same hold. This is a reverse, a change step, which we call progressive, and then a natural turn with a change step. Beautiful. That is our basic of Smooth. So if we take hold for tango now, let's just do the tango. We'll do a 2 walks progressive side step from ballroom. Same hold, same poise, same footwork, same movement. Now if we do that one more time, take a little bigger side step, and we're going to drag that closing foot in. That was the tango basic of Smooth. All right, let's do a foxtrot. This one's going to look an itsy bit different. We'll do a preparation to a feather step, but what you're going to notice is that Nick and Victoria are going to close their feet on the quick. So if we have our slow, quick, there's a close for the bronze level. Let's just do that one more time. Preparation, slow, quick, but at the silver level, it looks just like ballroom. And preparation, slow. Feather step to a running step, which is the 3-step. Yeah, we have different terminology for exactly the same patterns. It is the same foundation. Let's do the Viennese waltz. This one's radically different. And, just kidding. It's a reverse turn into a change step, into natural, and while they're dancing, keep dancing. I want you to all note that they still do heel leads on the forward step. Yeah, it's not different in Smooth despite what you see out there. Thank you. That was a beautiful Viennese basic. Thank you. All right, stick around, stay close. Just going to have a little chat. So, if that was the basic of Smooth, then why do they look so crazy different at the open level? So that's why I want to go through bronze, silver, gold, associate, licentiate, fellows, so that you can see the building blocks and what happens to make them look different. Now, you heard me say at the beginning, we blend a lot of different styles into smooth. One of the dances that we blend, and I feel like it has a huge impact on smooth at the bronze level, is West Coast swing. So let's do a little West Coast swing basic. They're not West Coast swing champs, but they can do this. All right, so a little sugar push. So you'll see Victoria stays away from him, so there's an extension and a compression of the frame. They get closer. It has a breathy-like quality to it. Beautiful, thank you. So that was the basic of the West Coast swing, done ballroom style. All right, so stick around, lovely. So what happens, hey Hannah, so what happens at the bronze level of smooth is we have our version of the contraction and expansion of the frame. So we're going to go over the basic holds, some of the elements that are used at the bronze level to show the breadth of the frame. If you'll take closed hold, just like ballroom. Beautiful, same holding closed, but we go to a slightly wider hold to the elbow. Good, and then we'll go a little further to double hand hold in a clasp or in a little hook. Perfect, take one more step away, Vika. There we go, we have open facing position. Please come back into hold from there. You can see now that they just seamlessly immediately fall back into ballroom posture and frame, yeah? So nothing is different. Can you just do it incorrectly where you collapse your frame as you move away? Yep, to the elbow hold, open, boom, eek, go back, do it properly. It's freaking me out. All right, so you can see if we come back, if it's important to have volume through the hold in ballroom, perfect. It's important in smooth at the syllabus level. Before you get creative, you need to know how to do that. Do it one more time to open facing, and then when you get there, let's demonstrate left and right side position. Perfect. And turn to right side. Beautiful. These are the main holds of smooth in the bronze level. Lovely. Thank you, guys. Gorgeous. Okay, so now, I'm just clapping because I get excited about beautiful frames. You don't have to. Okay, so now, the gorgeous, stunning element of smooth, but that's also super challenging, is that expansion and the contraction of that West Coast breath frame, but doing it in the ballroom style, with the poise and the powerful movement that you would want in international ballroom. Am I right, Greg? Thank you. All right, so what we're going to do is demonstrate the waltz figures again. This time we're going to add, we'll add 2 progressive change steps, so 2 change steps, and while they're doing that, they're going to show the figures with this expansion and contraction of the frame. So let's just demonstrate the waltz, and we'll just do waltz basic right now. Lovely. And Nick will move away. You can see they're in that extended hold. Now they'll go to open facing through the extra change steps. Start collecting back into hold again to come back into closed hold. Beautiful. Lovely. Do that one more time for me, guys. So they set up. Beautiful ballroom posture. Beautiful ballroom hold. Beautiful ballroom footwork and movement, but with the expansion of the frame to the open facing. We'll do those extra change steps so you can appreciate how gorgeously they're holding their own frame and back seamlessly into closed again. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. All right, stay close because I'm going to have you do that again. Now, because we have space, we can start getting a little bit more creative. And as we get at the bronze level, we add the underarm turns, an integral part of smooth, and a difficult part because the lady has to maintain her own poise, her own frame throughout the turn, and then seamlessly go back into closed hold like nothing happened. All right, so let's demonstrate that. If we start, closed hold, reverse turn, creating space. Victoria will do a beautiful underarm turn. We'll have our change steps to show the open frame. Nick will start to get closer to come back into a seamless closed for underarm turn, back into closed frame again. Lovely. Very good. Okay, let's just do that one more time. Thank you. I'm going to have you do that. Nick, if you wouldn't mind just pausing on the second step of the underarm turn. Come out into the light a little bit more. Nick, honey. Perfect. There we go. Lovely. So on the second step of the underarm turn, I'm just going to have Victoria pause right there. I'm going to step in, release, hold, Nick. You can see that Victoria has still maintained beautiful closed position. I'll release. All that has happened was have that ballet element of going through different arm positions, and then if you continue the turn, Victoria, close the feet, Nick, and continue through. We'll do the same thing on the natural underarm turn. So he gets close enough to pick her up, then create space on that second step. If you can just pause again, beautiful. And I'm just going to come into hold. Yeah, gorgeous frame. She maintains her own position. Thanks for the loan. You can have her back. And finishing out the turn to then continue back seamlessly into closed hold again. I don't know about you, but when they do that, it just makes me fall in love with smooth all over again. It's just so pretty. I love it. Well done, guys. All right, so we covered the expansion contraction. Because of that, we're able to do inside and outside turns, which they just demonstrated. So now, the last hold that we demonstrated in the middle here was left and right side position. And that's super important because for the first time, the partners are not facing each other. They're facing outwards, and so that's the bronze foundation for building into open individual work later on in silver and gold. So let's just demonstrate left side. We'll do half a reverse turn, underturned to get to our double hand hold. And now we're going to do left side position, change steps, closed feet. Beautiful, that's silver, that'll be coming. Thank you. You're always been ahead of your time, Nick. Awesome. Beautiful, so hopefully you can see that they can just seamlessly come back into hold again. So they maintain their own position while they were side by side. Lovely. If you can do that one more time for me, and this time, if you recognize the figures, they were just doing international ballroom change steps side by side, moving forward. So this time, they'll demonstrate with backwards. So forward, backward change step. Good. Can you just do it one more time? Go to the backward change step again, and just pause right there. Again, I'm just going to go into hold. Beautiful. Hold your arms up. Good. Hopefully you can see that it's just closed position, opened up. You don't want to lose the quality of what you've worked so hard for in international ballroom. Just because it's open doesn't mean you get to do bad technique. It still has exactly, identically the same qualities as ballroom, if it's done well at the syllabus level before you start getting creative. Lovely, thank you. Okay, so now, the next evolutionary step of smooth is the silver level. So obviously we have different patterns, but still the foundation of silver is based off international. Again, it's the holds that change mainly. So if I can get you to the frame box, we've got a lovely little box on the floor. It's like a frame to demonstrate our frames. All right, so if we go into closed position, and I'll have you go through the bronze where you open up to the wider hold and go to open facing position. Beautiful, because they all apply in silver. But now we're adding, if you can take another little step away, Victoria, and we'll do handshake hold now. So Nick, if you can change to right handshake hold. Beautiful. Change to left handshake hold. Lovely. And back into closed again, whenever you're ready, Nick. Good. He likes the handshake. Okay. Now from here, while you're in this lovely hold, can you take alternate hold? This is a version of alternate hold. There's many. They can have both arms around each other, but you can see quintessentially this is alternate. If you can keep doing that, that's alternate hold on the right side, alternate hold on the left side, go back to the right side again, pause, seamlessly go back to your ballroom hold and regain normal closed position. So that was handshake hold, alternate hold. In silver, we have this magnificent new hold that we do, shadow. Let's demonstrate that one. So shadow position. Here's our closed position, And now Victoria's going to turn. Nick will lower his right hand, gentlemen. You'll figure out the reason why when you go and practice it. So you lower the hand, and you can see we have right sway and left sway, matching of the body. Perfect. And if you can turn back into closed, please, next time. Beautiful. He lifts and maintains his right hand back into ballroom hold again. Glorious. So that's our shadow position. Excellent. Final thing that is added at the silver level is picture lines. So any picture line that you do in standard, for example, oversway, hover, throw away, same foot lunge, they all apply in smooth. We have some extra ones which I'm going to introduce later, but I want you to understand that the foundation of our picture lines is based on International Ballroom technique. Let's do the contra check. We'll do our contra check in closed, hopefully just like ballroom. Good. Let's change it to alternate hold. Lovely. Back into closed hold. And recover. Excellent. Turn to shadow position. Let's do that contra check in shadow. Beautiful. You can release hold. Excellent. Back into hold. And recover back to closed. It's like magic. So now we're adding more complexity to the frames. So we want to dance with as much volume in the frame as we possibly can at the syllabus level. Just because you wouldn't want to demonstrate a whisk and chasse in ballroom like this, same thing in smooth, we don't want to lose volume while we're transitioning from one move to the other through our frame. So we're going to demonstrate the silver version. As we do that, I'm also going to just say that now is where the movement changed. So in bronze, especially in the waltz, it's clearly a twin to ballroom because of the closed feet. The waltz and the foxtrot and the silver level in smooth have what we call continuity, passing of the feet. However, I'm going to have Nick and Victoria just demonstrate foxtrot for us. I'm going to say it the first time they go through, without adding the extra progressives, let's just do the basic of it. I'm going to name it with ballroom terminology. We're going to do an open reverse with a feather ending. We'll go straight into a hover telemark, to an open natural, open impetus with feather ending. Good. You now know how to do silver smooth. It's the same steps. The patterns evolve, but the foundational movement is identical. We're not a distant cousin, we're twins. Yeah? So let's do that one more time, guys. Thank you. This time I'll just say it with the smooth terminology. And open left with continuity ending. Twinkle, the best name in American smooth. Still laugh when I say it. Open right. We include the impetus with that. And then continuity ending. So all I did was change the names. It's exactly the same quality of movement, same frame, same footwork, nothing is different. So, like a test, what out of posture, the hold, and the footwork, what changes? Come on, say it, Masami. The hold, good girl, well done. I'm pretty sure that's what she said. All right. So let's try this again now. We'll add the two progressives in there to show the open hold. We're going to do exactly the same basic, adding the West Coast swing breath of expanding and contracting the frame. Starting in the contracted closed hold, open to slightly wider hold, into our open facing. We're doing extra progressives right here. He's going to get closer to do a twinkle. Beautiful. Back into closed hold. We'll continue with the open right, which includes the impetus, and then continuity ending. Oh my goodness, that's heavenly. Good, very nice. Okay. Let's do that one more time. And you'll see they're going to go to that wider hold that we did in bronze, just to create space. Go to double hand and then release into open. This allows breath. Continue, you're good. Good. Hey, nice poise and control. You must have done ballroom. Good. Excellent. Open right, into continuity ending. Excellent. Very nice. So again, that's added the volume in the frame. So we know if we add the volume in the frame, you're fine, no one saw, right? Okay, so now that we have the volume in the frame, we want to add our underarm turn, just like how we did in the bronze. Same progression. Okay, if we can do the open left with the underarm turn, and just remember, when we do the open right, we'll do it with a chassé, so we'll add a syncopation. And open left, underarm turn, same quality, open facing, beautiful. He'll get a little closer for the twinkle. Good, open right, and then Nick is going to do a progressive chassé to the right, and Victoria will do the syncopated underarm turn, and we'll end in double hand hold. Excellent, let's do that again. Thank you. Beautiful, and open left, good. Underarm turn, and open facing, progressive, good. He's getting a little closer now to go back into our twinkle. Open right and chassé underarm turn. Beautiful. And you can see they're landing in this double hand hold right here. Beautiful. Excellent. Thank you, guys. We're going to take this opportunity now to talk about picture lines. So if we can actually just take it from the hover, and we'll do the chassé into diagonal center so that we can talk about first a double hand hold développé. So I've been talking about West Coast swing up until now. Now I'm going to introduce ballet. So we use balletic terminology, développé, passé, enveloppé. So we're going to do from the hover, chassé underarm turn to double hand hold, and we'll do our picture line développé. Beautiful, and then we'll continue with the hover into alternate hold. Glorious. Thank you. Excellent. Let's do that one more time. Victoria did what we would call a silver level développé just then. We want to start breathing and showing more flexibility this time. We'll go to that handshake hold, so more extension. Change, let go. Good. Into handshake développé. Beautiful. Into our alternate hold. Beautiful. Excellent. Very nice. So you can see we're now blending balletic terminology into smooth, but it still had the same footwork, so we don't do ballet footwork of the turnout, we still would take the heel lead. Everything has the ballroom technique with the ballet blended in. Let's do that one more time, guys, and then once you get to that alternate hold, what I'd like Nick and Victoria to demonstrate this time is the basic run around. Yeah, in smooth we do standing spins. This is the silver version of your standing spin. It's a runaround. So from here, if we do the chassé underarm, développé, and then back into alternate hold just for a single syncopation. 1 and 2, 3, off we go in alternate hold, and you'll see them seamlessly go back into closed hold again. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Good. What they just demonstrated, and you heard me say single syncopation, that's all you're allowed to do at the silver syllabus level. We don't want to get too creative there. It's just demonstrating poise, different holds, while starting to add syncopations in turn. But that's the groundwork for our standing spins, which we're going to do in the gold level. Back at silver now, we've got our shadow. Okay, so the beautiful shadow. We're going to turn Victoria to shadow position. Now both of them are going to do the basic, which you all know now. I expect a demonstration from you all afterwards, of the open left and open left with continuity ending. We'll do the progressives. You'll see Victoria's starting to add more ballet styling to her arms to show the breath. Open right, shadow open right. Gorgeous. So hopefully you can see the same frame, body and foot speed. What's important in closed is just as important in shadow. Let's do that one more time for them. Open left. Excellent. Progressive. Last progressive to go into our open right, shadow open right. Breathtaking. Excellent. Okay, so now the last figure that we did in the bronze was the left side by side. We're going to do our version of that in the silver with the passing feet. So instead of closing the feet, we're doing our continuity movement down the floor. We'll start just with a basic reverse underturn. We'll do a bronze style. Beautiful, and now just progressives down the floor. And you can just see they're just constantly passing their feet, changing which side is positive. Exact same skills that we'd be looking for. Beautiful, excellent. If you can do that, on the way back, if you can just start adding the ballet styling to the arms, because they're side by side, they can start being a little bit more individual and expressive. And do a basic reverse into our continuity. Beautiful, so you can just see the arms are swinging around, going up. They're compressing the frame a little bit more and expanding away. So a little bit more breath, and then we'll come back into closed hold. Lovely. You got it. Thank you. Okay, very nice. Good job, Nick. Let's do that one more time. In left side position at the silver level, we can start adding syncopations. So there's more difficulty to the patterns now. As you go down, please keep the expansion in the frame and keep it a little simpler. And we'll just do a few, good, grapevine. Excellent. So the grapevine is a really popular step in smooth. We do it in many of the dances, and you can see Nick and Victoria are doing it just beautifully here. They stayed at the maximum distance right then, so they're at the most extended frame. Lovely. Let's try that one more time. Just set up in left side position for me. On the way back, let's add that West Coast swing element of compressing the frame and moving back out again. And you can see they get closer and further apart during the figure, but they always end with that ballroom quality, so it's easy to seamlessly move back into closed at the end. Glorious. Well done, guys. Excellent. Okay. So that's your silver. Yeah, we've done bronze, we've done silver. There is obviously a lot more patterns to this, but I'm just fundamentally hitting the big points on what syllabus smooth is all about building. Beautiful posture, gorgeous movement across the floor, and clarity of frame changes without getting too creative. Just little elements of it. Let's go to gold now. I'll bring you up into the frame. So in the gold, we're going to introduce new holds. Let's actually go from closed and then turn to shadow position. Beautiful. So if we just turn you straight to shadow position, and now take a step onto your left foot and let's turn to left shadow. Beautiful. Left shadow, back to right shadow. We'll do that one more time. The transition from one shadow position to another. Gorgeous. Excellent. So you'll notice Nick picked up his foot. That wasn't off balance. That was done by design. So we're going to be doing standing spins in gold on one foot. The difference between a runaround where we're paddling to a standing spin where one is standing and the other is running. So Nick picked up his foot. Excellent. If we can just turn to alternate hold, please, for Vika to show her picking up one foot. So we're having a balance line right now. Lovely. We'll be expanding on that later. Let's show tandem position. So tandem on the right side. We obviously were in left side position in bronze and silver, but this time we can be on the same foot. So instead of natural opposite, we're on the same foot. So that is our right tandem, changing to left tandem, back to right tandem again. Beautiful. And while you're there, let's do those picture lines that we were talking about in tandem position. There's the contra check in tandem. Beautiful. Let's come up. Do that one more time, but release hold. So in gold, we can start releasing the hold to have more open work and more expression through the body. Beautiful. Thank you, guys. Okay, so we've done bronze, silver, gold now, frames with movement. So what we're going to do, the difference between bronze, silver, is you try and keep the transitions a little bit clearer and you don't move from one hold to another. In the gold level, we're trying to add a lot more complexity. So transitioning from one frame to the other more often, and in the movement, we're adding syncopations. So let's just demonstrate, let's do the transition into shadow, and we'll show into shadow, hold. Beautiful. Perfect. We'll do a feather step. Excellent. And we're going to show the transition to left shadow here. Left shadow to right shadow. We'll turn that. Left shadow back to right shadow. Lovely. Very good. Excellent. Let's do that one more time. Starting in closed hold, we'll do the open left, and Nick will chasse while Victoria turns to shadow position. So open left, create the space. We're going to do a feather step in shadow position. Good. One progressive. Now we'll change to left shadow, transitioning. Left shadow, you can see Victoria's balletic use of the arms. And to right shadow, and just beautiful pause right there for me. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, so you can see more complex changes of the frame. Let's start right here, and the next part I want to show is, so I said there's more complex transitions. Now the next part is syncopations. So now that they're in this shadow position, we'll stay in normal shadow, and we're going to do an open right into a continuous hairpin for a figure that's syncopated turning right, and then a bounce fall away and tumble turn for a figure turning left. We're using ballroom figures so that you can recognize the syncopations. And open right, and syncopated continuous hairpin, beautiful. Open right to our feather finish, and then we'll do the bounce fall away, syncopated turning left to a tumble turn. Excellent. So you can see the kind of figures that we do at the gold level have more syncopations, more difficulty. Let's do that one more time from the open right. And open right, syncopated, to the bounce fall away, syncopated turning left, tumble turn. Excellent. Now this is an example of any pattern. Beautiful. Well done. Again, I use ballroom terminology. We have patterns in smooth that turn right and left differently, but this is just an example of a way of syncopating the shadow turning right and turning left in a way that should feel comfortable for people who've done international ballroom. Okay, so now we want to do our tandem position, yeah? So first I'll have Nick ahead in the movement, beautiful, and we'll do that grapevine that we did in the silver, but we're doing it side by side. So you can see they're moving down the floor, gorgeous power, beautiful release of hold that's allowed in the gold level. Excellent. Let's do that facing the other way. Perfect. Gorgeous. And our tandem grapevine. And starting to release the hold. You can see Nick still presents her. Victoria gets very expressive through the arms here. And so does Nick. Beautiful. Excellent, thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay, so that segues me beautiful to part 2, which is the artistic DNA aspect of smooth. Yeah, because right now we've got through syllabus, we ended in open hold. So if we have open hold, we have now more opportunity to be expressive. So in part 2, the artistic side of smooth is the creative side. So this is where our DNA is completely different to ballroom. We obviously now blend with other styles of dancing. We've already started it in the syllabus level, but we're going to do it even more now because there is no set criteria. There's no restrictions. There's no obvious rules that are laid out for the open smooth dancer. So what's great about that is they can delve into the personality, the character, past training that they might have had to create their version of smooth and to create a version that suits them best. So what I'm going to do is just show you a few patterns, a 3-step turn, a progressive, a grapevine, from the grapevine, a little ronde, a hesitation, and a turn to the right. So these figures that I did right now could be any dance. So if I go into my ballroom technique and add rise, lilting rise and fall, it becomes a waltz. waltz. If I go into my ballroom technique, I can make that a tango. Lower, more powerful staccato, sharper lines. Yeah, so it now becomes tango. Woo! Thank you. If we use the same low pulsing energy, the same footwork, it can become a Viennese waltz. Yeah, so without the music, hopefully you can see that they're just steps, and by using ballroom technique, we can make them look like the different dances. But here's the gorgeous thing. In smooth, we can create characters. So you notice I left out foxtrot. The reason why I did that is because foxtrot has the most schizophrenic personality, right? Can't decide if it wants to be elegant or sexy or bold or cool. So I want to use the different types of training to show how the different personalities can evolve just in this one dance. So I always say, okay, if you've been classically trained, you've had standard, you've had some ballet, yeah, you're flexible, you're light, you're lithe, you're fluid, yeah? You should be doing a more traditional classic approach. I always picture this type of foxtrot of having the personality of old Hollywood. I always see Fred and Ginger. You see the tails, the top hat, the cane, right? Ginger Rogers has the feather dress, yeah? So you can feel the floatiness, the lovely light energy. So that personality is very elegant and refined and classy. So you can have a little skip to the turn. Hello, it's a charming evening to foxtrot, isn't it? If you're ballet trained, you would show flexibility, which I don't obviously have. Put your bow tie on, throw your bow over your shoulder, little pencil turn, heurté ending. Very classic, very refined. So the music in smooth changes so dramatically that it's an opportunity for the couples to show off that kind of personality. Yeah, so if there's very classic traditional music on.
She walks like an angel walks. She talks like an angel talks.
All right, so that's if you've been trained classically in standard, ballet. So now, what about those couples that have had jazz training? You know, done Broadway jazz, modern, tap, yeah? What if they've been trained in gymnastics? And it's bigger and bolder and brassier. So I always imagine, what if Beyonce did smooth, right? It wouldn't look like what I just did. So it would be bigger and more powerful and bolder. It'd be showing off sharper actions, yeah? As if you're like singing at a Broadway stage and you go out the back door, no autographs, please. But I'm in chorus line, yeah? Throw it away, final note. Beyonce singing in Vegas, yeah? Same steps, have a completely different personality. So the music would have to be bolder, yeah? Bigger, brassy.
And the minute you walked in the joint, I could see you were a man of distinction, a real big spender, good looking, so refined. Say, wouldn't you like to know what's...
Thank you. All right. So, bold, big. If you have a couple coaches that have jazz into their training, or if they don't, send them out, because if they're going to do American Foxtrot, they need that, yeah? Let's cool it off a little bit. So instead of being so big energy, high impact, what about a couple that's done West Coast swing? Rhythm dancers, yeah, ones that have done Fosse style of jazz, where it's about one isolated body action. Cool. I always imagine if Justin Timberlake did smooth, right? So everything kind of comes down a little bit, and it's more internal and more about the body action. Yeah? Fosse, where they just isolate one part of the body. What about the head? Or the body? Yeah? Nice and cool, very sleek. Yeah? So the music, if it comes out and it's sexier, yeah? It's not big and bold, it's groovy. We're just club dancing, just club dancing. If we turn.
Never knew how much I love you. Never knew how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get the fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever. When you...
Yeah. Clapping you, clapping me, it's all good. So now, this is where things get ugly though, because my last version is what if you have a 10-dance trained couple, yeah? Someone who's specialized in Latin. And it's all about slick speed, focus, and intent, yeah? It's really embarrassing having Trolls and Nina on one side of me, and then Michael and Joanna on the other side. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna dust off my 80s Latin here and show you my Latin version of Foxtrot. What the hell? You know, so it's gonna be more speed, quicker, sharp focus changes, body actions. So let's put on music that's more contemporary, yeah? 80s Latin.
I will be your sexy silk. Wrap me around, round, round, round. I'll be your pussycat licking your
I'm telling you, in the 80s, I knocked it out of the park. Okay, unfortunately, that was like 37 years ago or something like that, right? Okay. Hopefully what you're seeing is that smooth is a very open-minded style. I'm so excited that smooth is going global. Can't wait to see what Japan does with it. I can't wait to see what England does with it. Can't wait to see what Russia does with it. What's part of your culture? What's part of your history? What are you going to do to evolve your style, to make smooth your own? Yeah? Super exciting time. I'm very grateful that you've had me. What I want to do is close out today by having Nick and Victoria demonstrate their version of Foxtrot. And now you're connoisseurs, I want you to be watching going like, ooh, there's the swing part. There's the standard part, ballroom, yeah? There's the Latin part. And just see, what would you create in your version of smooth? Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Well, my eyes are closed, but my heart's on fire, because the clock is approaching the midnight hour. I leave my window open, all the lights are out, and from the darkest night comes the lightest shout. Moonshine, moonshine, moon. The cow jumped over the moonshine moon. Moonshine, moonshine moon. Love you tonight under the moonshine moon. As we walk through the streets, there's no one nowhere, and our nightgowns are trailing and our feet are bare. I don't know where we're going, and I don't care, just as long as you're here and the moon's up there. Moonshine.